asked you to come in as a panelist, so here he is. So Nathan, yes, is from the Roundhouse, which is a really amazing creative and cultural venue in North London. They do loads of stuff around working with young people to help them get more involved in creativity and culture. They've got this amazing cultural space. Hi, Nathan. That I'm sure Nathan will be very happy to give more information about. So Nathan, I don't know if you know, but you are on mute, just FYI, so just in case you were gonna...
Thank you very much.
Okay, Nathan, do you want to start by introducing yourself? Tell us who you are, what do you do, and what is Roundhouse?
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Nathan. I am the Senior Youth Work Manager here at the Roundhouse in Camden in North London. So not only are we an iconic music venue that has been around since the 60s and hosted everyone from Jimi Hendrix to Rolling Stones, but we also have an amazing youth program that's available to young people from the ages of 11 up to 30. And we cover a broad range of activities, so whether that be the creative arts, so that may be spoken word, dance, music, all the way through to our kind of freelance entrepreneurship program, which supports young professionals and businesses to kind of get their kind of first steps into the business world.
I love that. There is something there for absolutely everyone, I'm sure.
Indeed.
So, Nathan, tell us about your own journey. How did you get from school to where you are now? And also, what were you like at school? Did you ever think that you would make it into, I guess, Roundhouse style area?
That's a great question. I think when I kind of came to the kind of end of my school career, so kind of A levels, I really felt disillusioned with education. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And as such, I took quite a prolonged kind of break from education, trying to find out what I wanted to do, kind of work, kind of retail jobs, kind of thinking what would kind of be best for my future. And the first kind of step that kind of took me into this youth work world was volunteering. I volunteered for the YMCA when I was 18 years old. I really got kind of first-hand experience of working alongside young people, not only to support them to kind of use their voice for good, but also kind of supporting them kind of pastorally and holistically as well. I'm about revealing my age. I've never looked back since then. So kind of half my life has been in this career now, working alongside young people. And I think it was mainly just that real key experience of every day is different. No 2 days are the same in youth work. And it is just a great job to have as well at the same time.
Yeah, of course. Oh my God, it sounds very fulfilling as well. And what an amazing thing to be able to work in such a creative space as well. I feel like not enough credit is given to the environments that we work in. As we were just saying at Christie's, if you can, do a job that maybe you weren't necessarily kind of envisaging for yourself, but in a creative space, that is an unbelievable thing to be able to do, isn't it?
100%. And I think what the Roundhouse does so uniquely is it really blends those two worlds, that kind of access to creativity and industry, but also in a really kind of supported and kind of youth-friendly space. Kind of growing up and kind of with the work that I've done has mainly been in kind of traditional youth work settings, your youth centres, community centres, but actually to have youth work on such a large scale in such a large cultural venue is really unique. Also, that offers lots of opportunities for young people as well, whether that be training and employment opportunities. So we're able to kind of hire people within spaces, our main space or in our studio theatre. So whether that be anything towards our kind of technical or creative side, but also getting young people opportunities in the office side as well, whether that be within our admin team and our finance team. So we sit within a larger organisation, and it's actually quite nice to go, even though we have young people kind of joining on quite a small scale, kind of open up their eyes, kind of the bigger picture that's available.
I love that. And as you said when you were talking about your history, you went out quite early on and started volunteering, didn't you? In order to, I guess, kind of try and discover what you wanted to do, I suppose, was part of it. Do you think, is that something that you would recommend the young people watching start doing now in order to gain skills and experience, but also, start to figure out where they want to go in the world?
100%. I'm a massive kind of advocate for kind of putting your name out there. I think there's no harm in kind of emailing organisations, seeing what they have available. Volunteering is available in a lot of organisations, but sometimes not always the most highly promoted opportunities. I think some people not getting paid for it can always be a real downer, but actually having that experience is really useful, whether that just be doing a day, supporting a project for a week, whatever that may be, especially during the summer holidays and half terms. A lot of organisations are looking for volunteering opportunities to get involved in. I do promote that Also, networking is also a great thing to do. LinkedIn is a great tool to be able to connect with other individuals within a creative field or within a certain industry. And I think the more you get your name out there, I've always found that can always kind of have a massive impact later on in life.
Absolutely. Also, just to point out, there's definitely a difference, isn't there, between volunteering for a company like a law firm, which could be paying you, let's be honest, and then also giving your time to a charity in order to be able to help other people. But both, I mean, that latter one does build skills and experience as well as giving back to a community, and that is, important. So obviously we've got lots of young people watching from all over the UK. So not everyone is unfortunately within arm's reach of the Roundhouse, but there are networks, aren't there, of I guess cultural spaces like Roundhouse available, and also there are cultural spaces all over the UK. You guys are not the only one, are you?
No, exactly. And sometimes, I'll be honest, before I worked at the Roundhouse, I didn't know there was such a massive youth program. So sometimes you may see cultural organisations within your local community, within your city, and you may not know that the work that they do. So go along, visit them, trawl through the website, see what they have going available. Roundhouse is really blessed that we don't have a catchment area. We work with young people across the country because of the offer that we have available to young people. We're able to kind of touch young people from kind of across the country, which is amazing. And actually in the next couple of years, we're going to be building a massive digital platform to hopefully engage with more people across the country as well. So yeah, there'll be lots of different ways to get involved, but wherever you live, just do that research and see what's out there for you.
Amazing. Also, let's take this opportunity, because you have just mentioned it, to talk about the programs and stuff that you have, both locally and UK wide. That would be great.
Of course. So we kind of have two main offers available. So we have our projects that are available from young people from the ages of 11 up to 30, broken down into different age ranges. So 11 to 14, 15, 17, 18 to 25, and 18 to 30. And then we also have an on-site creative studios, which are independent use for young people, really affordable, really accessible, and they're available to young people from ages 11 to 25. And all of the information around our projects and studios, just go on the website, roundhouse.org.uk.
I love that. It's like you've been media trained. That's a fantastic slick answer. Okay, so tell us a bit about the different departments in the Roundhouse, because you've already mentioned how, I guess, many different areas there are. There's the educational space, there's the performance space, then you've got all the other bits and pieces going on, commercial space. What are the different departments that it takes to make all of that work?
Yeah, so we have a number of departments and teams that work within the organisation. Everything from kind of the main office side, so whether that be kind of IT and systech, to kind of finance and admin. We also then have an events and commercial team, so they would deal with our private events that people they might hire the space, and as well as our commercial events or our music events that we put on. So we have a dedicated music team and creative arts team. And then we also have a youth policy and engagement team that work for our young people. So whether that be programming, the work that we do, working on the back end with the business and admin side of it, and then also that front face delivery alongside young people as well. And this is actually a really good point to highlight that at the moment, kind of went live yesterday. We have a live internship, which is going to be available, which is being delivered through Greenpeace and the Jamal Edwards Trust. And that will give young people a real kind of key hands-on experience at lots of different things throughout the festival, as well as some experience working on a festival in the summertime as well.
Oh my God, amazing. I feel like that was so timely that we had this interview then.
Perfect.
Talk about the internship. Also, am I right in thinking that was a radio?
It is. We're always operational here. We are always operational.
I love that. That was like real-time work. In your opinion, if you weren't doing what you were doing right now in the Roundhouse, what would be, I guess, the department that you'd want to join, and what would be the job that you want to do?
I don't know if I'd be qualified for it, but I would love to join the fundraising team. We are blessed by our kind of fundraising team and our philanthropy team that kind of go out there and source the money for our work, which kind of makes it as inclusive and accessible as it can be. I think that fundraising, a massive part of that is telling stories. And I like to think that I do that quite well in terms of telling the stories of the impact that the Roundhouse has had on our young people, both positive and also kind of that massive change that it's had in people's lives. The Roundhouse doesn't always touch young people in exactly the same way, but it does touch young people in some sort of way. And there's always a massive difference that it can play in young people's lives. and being able to kind of go out there and share that story with trusts, foundations, businesses, individuals, I think would also be quite a cool thing to do.
Yeah, that's it. And I feel like fundraising is essentially the foundation of how an
Definitely.
organisation like yours works. But so many young people watching will have absolutely no idea that that whole department exists. So that's really interesting. What kind of skills do you think you would need in order to be able to get a role there?
I think one of the big things is around communication. And like I said, that going back to that kind of storytelling part, how do you effectively talk about the work that you do and also kind of make it, I guess, investable to people. I think you also have to have a good wrangle around numbers and knowing your numbers, which is another key part of that. But yeah, I do think the big part of it is kind of really understanding and get to kind of being passionate about the work that you do. All of our philanthropy team work really hard in kind of finding those real key stories and thinking about how to promote them, whether that be internally within the organization, then also externally to other individuals as well, so that they can keep pledging and promoting and supporting the work that we do.
Yeah, really interesting. And you must, have some really big names that support Roundhouse and kind of drop into the office every now and then. Do you ever get to see the people that kind of help fund it?
Yeah, we do. And actually, I think that is a really great part of it as well, that people don't just kind of give their money blindly. Actually, they want to see the impact of the work that they do. With a lot of our youth projects, we do sharings and showcases of our work. So whether that be kind of open mics or jams or sharings of the work that people have done, and people will come along and visit that. And I think that's really important. And also, I think it gives young people a really great boost as well. They feel a real kind of pride in the work that they've created and are able to share that with other people as well. And then in terms of kind of wider names that support us, last year, Daniel Kaluuya signed on to be our Associate Artistic Director and now runs a theatre company within the organisation called Centre 59. And those young people are going to be promoting their work as part of our new youth festival, which is going to be running in April, called the 360 Festival, which is 3 weeks long, but has a real key focus on the kind of work that our young people do from our poetry collective, music collective, and the work from our theatre group as well.
Oh my God, incredible. So if you are part of the team at the Roundhouse, you're always networking with really interesting names, not just each other, because, I don't want to undermine everyone that works there already.
Of
You
course.
guys are all very interesting names in yourselves. But, having these big name celebrities, like notable, I guess, creatives coming in, what a dynamic kind of place to be. I mean, you must have some crazy celebrity stories, am I right?
We do. And I think actually, without naming too many names, it's really nice actually when a lot of the people that play upstairs in our main space, so our main space is a 3,000 capacity music venue. So when people come and play at the main space, they're always given the opportunity if they'd like to come and look around the studios. And it's been really nice to host some of those tours and show some of those people around the studios. And then kind of walking into a rehearsal room where you've got a group of young people and they're kind of faced with this person that they've looked up to, they really admire, and they're just there giving them some really practical advice, maybe potentially how they started their own creative journey, maybe tips and tricks that they can pass on to young people. And young people will always kind of really be appreciative of the fact that actually they can see that connection to the kind of main space. You're not just down here in the studios. There are those kind of clear pipelines to be able to perform on the bigger stage as well.
Oh, amazing. Well, Nathan, we're coming to the end of the interview. So thank you so much. I feel like the call to action here is number one, go check out Roundhouse and all the stuff that they have to offer people, not just locally, but all over the UK. And then second thing is go and find a similar, I assume it will be a much smaller equivalent in a local area, because Roundhouse is pretty blooming big, guys. So go find an equivalent in your local area and then get involved. Go chat to them. Go see what programs they're running as well. Nathan, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a fascinating interview. I felt
Thank you very much
about what you guys do and all the cool things that you have going on.